Hi, today I thought I'd take a look at the Silver Age Batman Superman World's Finest Omnibus Volume 1. This is a reissue that just came out this past week or so. And I have Volume 2. I got it on clearance a while ago. That got released a while back, but I guess my comic shop had trouble moving it, and it went down to like $20 that I bought it. But I never had Volume 1, and they reissued it with this new cover. DC does that sometimes, so that's pretty awesome. So I'm able to get volume 1 of this now. Here's the spine. Here's the Batman Superman art on the back, and here is the back copy. So this collects the classic story of their first meeting in Superman 76, their first comic book meeting. We'll get to that. And then their team-ups in World's Finest 71 and 116. So usually they're just Superman and Batman stories separately in those comics. And then we know it more as a Superman-Batman team-up, but that came later. So let's take a look inside. So you see classic Silver Age villains here. Batmite and Mixie's Pitlick. Got a nice forward here. That's cool. Let me take this dust jacket off. So yeah, inside is just a black cover. I looked through this before, but it's still creaky opening it up. So there's like a hole for it by Mark Waid. So here's Superman 76. This was the first team-up of Superman and Batman. Superman, of course, debuted in Action Comics in June 1938, Action Comics #1. And, of course, Batman debuted roughly a year later in Detective Comics #27 in May 1939. Superman and Batman actually appeared together for the first time on the very popular Superman radio show, The Adventures of Superman, with Bud Collyer as Superman. Batman appeared on that show a lot. Like, I can't tell you how many episodes. It's in the dozens and dozens. The first time they met was in December 1945 on the radio show. And Superman fought a character named Atom Man. And the results of that were kryptonite, and he was weakened, so he needed the help of Batman and Robin. So now we're entering into World's Finest Comics. Number 71 is the first time Superman and Batman actually team up. Usually they were in separate stories in these comics, and now they're teaming up together. And Batman's apparently bulletproof, because this is a classic story, and they did this in the cartoons. Superman and Batman swap places. Yeah, this is how early it was, guys. This is in the 1950s. So there you go. I've always loved the black forehead and blue and gray Batman. It doesn't have the yellow insignia yet. So yeah, in December 1945, Superman enlists the help of Batman and Robin against Atom Man because he gets weakened by kryptonite. So that's December 1945. And Superman number 76, their very first team up in comics, is March 7th, 1952. So quite a ways away from their first actual team up in the radio series. They teamed up again before teaming up in the comics in January 29th, 1946 in a caper on the radio series where Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne investigate bank robberies, and basically they can only be done by someone with Superman's powers. So they're like, well, that can't be. And they teamed up in dozens of different adventures in the radio series. The radio series set a lot of trends for Superman. Like kryptonite basically comes from the radio series. There's Lex Luthor. I love the art here. So we're in Kurt Swan territory right now. Kurt Swan doing Superman and Batman and Robin here. Pretty great stuff. And we're getting a bit more into creatures. I know that Volume 2 is filled with zany sci-fi 50s creatures. It's pretty cool. You know, a lot of fun stuff. But yeah, we're still in Kurt Swan territory. Kurt Swan did Superman 76, among the other Superman issues at the time. And, oh, where's his insignia, man? And of course, these World's Finest comics. Here's World's Finest 76. Yeah, I dig these old helicopters. That was accurate for the time, but like would be way out of place today. I love these old stories. It's basically heroes versus villains, and that's it. There's no ambiguity here. I love them teaming up all the time. Here's Superman in some sort of supercar. Pretty cool, man. Yeah, make this, Todd McFarlane. So Batman does his fair share of cool stuff too. Here he has these big bat wing glider things. Having gadgets even back then. Classic Superman with his Superman S. So I think now we're getting into Dick Sprang territory. World's Finest number 78. So they're always teasing things like, oh gosh, in this issue we're going to, you know, reveal that Superman's Clark Kent and all that stuff. And it never happens, or it's like an imaginary tale or something like that. So Dick Sprang penciled World's Finest for quite a while. Yeah, I love all this like fantasy stuff. You see like Superman's like a musketeer and all that stuff. He's still got his cape. Yeah, make this, Todd McFarlane. These are really fanciful, fun stories. You know, if you have like a 6-year-old, they probably get into this kind of thing. I do love these, and I love that like I now have Volume 1 to supplement my Volume 2. Volume 2 is chock-a-block of like crazy, zany monsters, and it's very, very colorful like this is as well. Wonderful art by Dick Sprang. And Kurt Swan in this as well. Look at this awesome Joker mobile. That's pretty cool with Joker and Lex Luthor. Pretty awesome stuff. I'll just go through this really quickly. Lightning Man. That's neat. Word Lightning Man. Whatever happened to Lightning Man? Pretty cool stuff. He's lifting up tanks and everything. But it turns out to be Clark Kent, I guess. Here's Super Batwoman. I remember this character in other things. I think she turns up in the Volume 2 Omnibus as well. There she is. She's got the powers of both. Well, I guess the abilities of Batman. And so they're all encased in ice here. Pretty cool stuff. This is a lot of fun. This is a great like Sunday afternoon just reading these things. There's like a fake Superboy, Super Son. My name isn't Skyboy, it's Tharn, and I live on the planet Cormo. Where's the Skyboy figure? That's another thing. There's a lot of forgotten history in these old DC comics. It's cool when I mean, almost every villain they fight is someone they can easily bring back, and would be really, really cool. Superheroes in bitter feud. What's gotten into you two? I don't know, Robin, but all of a sudden I can't stand Batman. I feel the same about you, Superman. Yeah, I'll get into reading that. Look at the bat plane there. Pretty cool stuff. Here's the utility belt with little capsules that he can use. World's Finest 97. Superman and Batman in one adventure. Here we are, gentlemen, the famous Batcave. Like, what? First Alfred, then you. Inviting everybody in. Here's Kryptonite. Batman gives him a hand. Here's Robin punching a guy in like a freaking trolley or something. Batman swinging guys around. This happened a lot in these old DC comics. Superman did this a lot too. This is the Menace of the Moon Man. So this is World's Finest 98. Moon Man with this awesome chariot. Bring him back with the chariot, man. So whenever there was like a house ad or something like that, they'd have to fill in this World's Finest Comics insignia there. We'll just rush through these. There's, I think this is a Fortress of Solitude, no? And I find too with these, what they're doing is they're reprinting all of the Superman, Batman team-up stories, not necessarily the entire World's Finest 100, etc., etc. A lot of these things were a mix of new and old stories anyways. So here's the Ball City Candor. That's cool. Yeah, and I miss all this Superman lore. I mean, really, I get that, like, you know, the whole Crisis thing gave him a shot in the arm and all that stuff, but I don't know. To me, I feel like they really lost a lot, especially with Superman. Superman experienced the most loss from the whole Crisis fiasco. Batman was almost untouched, really. But Superman lost a lot of lore because he was the last son of Krypton. A lot of characters got like excised. And since there's no Superboy, even more characters were excised. And some made their way into post-Crisis, like the Legion of Superheroes, but had no tie to anything anymore. Like, the whole point of them was to interact with Superboy. Basically, he gets training in the future on all these different missions. And now it's like he just becomes Superman. So there you go. Really awesome Dick Sprang art here. Colorful stuff too. And the classic costumes as well. Superman's costume has been almost untouched for decades and decades. I mean, he had this S insignia very, very early on, into the late 40s into the 50s, and then that, you know, on and on. I know now they keep changing it around. There's Batmite. That's cool. Here's this dude, the Creature from Beyond. Yeah, so here they're beginning to fight all these crazy sci-fi creatures. Paul Bunyan, I guess. Yeah, a lot of fun stuff. Look at this guy, man. It's awesome. Crashes through this this wall here in prison. Here's an afterword by Jim Amash. And here's all the different creators. Bill Finger, of course. Edmund Hamilton wrote a lot of these stories. Also a great science fiction writer in and of himself. Dick Sprang, Kurt Swan. There you have it. World's Finest, Volume 2. I'm sorry, Volume 1, Omnibus. I recommend picking this up if you like a big, nice, classic Superman and Batman. And even if you have little ones, you can read through some of these with them. So I hope you enjoyed going through this with me. And be sure to like this video. And please subscribe if you haven't already. Lots of great comic book stuff on here. So until next time, take care.